More documentation. The Hebrew Homestead Update. I'm inside the hoop house, and it's apparent that I need to cut some grass. This is a kind of a temporary hoop house situation. I want to say it was somewhat of an emergency this winter to get this up and save my citrus plants that I haven't put in the ground. This one's blooming like it's fighting for its life. This is a in my pot citrus. I forget what this one is. Let's see. It's a Mineola Tangelo. Mineola Tangelo, and it's flowering. And the bees are getting in here. I try to help put these flaps on so they can come and go. But they've been getting here because I got little, you see them little green bulbs there? Those are going to be fruit. So, I got the Tangelo, Mineolas. I got a lot of, what are these things called? I found a red one. I got a lot of these, oh, what are these? I forgot what these are. Murcot. I got a lot of these Murcot tangerines. They've been blossoming. It's time to feed everything. I got a strawberry tree, which I've been looking for this thing for a while. It kind of looks like the tree that's on the Captain Crunch box. So it's a tree that produces a fruit that looks like strawberries. I don't think it tastes like strawberries, but it's I don't know what it tastes like because I've never tasted it. That's why I got this plant. And this is a tree. So I'm gonna, when the frost is free, we're free of frost, I'm gonna put this in the ground somewhere around here. I believe this olive tree might be trying to fruit, so that's a good thing. I gotta find a place to put these. I have a loquat, which I've seen in the stores for a ridiculous price. I found that for I think it was $30, $25, $30. Because they're usually on sale for like, I've seen them between $50 to $125. They're usually about $80, $75 to $80, which is ridiculous to me. But I found one for, I think it was 30, somewhere between 20 and 40, which is regular price to me. They usually want a lot of money for that tree. So that's kind of like a, I don't know what it tastes like. I've never had one. They say it's like a peachy plum fruit. But I got one. This is Albertina olive tree. And look at that. Look at that. Look at those babies. That's amazing. So proud of you. I have so I got all of these citrus in here. That's the main reason I put this up. I don't think this is gonna stay here. It's kind of in the front yard, but it was necessary. It might be here for a couple seasons, but it's just a hoop house with a little fence post in the ground, PVC pipe, and this is just 6 mil. I think it's 6 mil plastic. It's not even hoop house plastic, so it'll last a season, maybe two. But it's done its job because I'll show you why in a minute. But these are my these are my trimmings from pruning this winter. Here is I got them. I've been doing a better job of marketing stuff. It's Granny Smith apples, and I'm hoping that they root. I got sand in here, and at the bottom of the sand, I got potting soil. So if they make it past the sand, or I give myself wiggle room for neglect, or if I go past the date, I like to give myself room. So I got sand, and then at the bottom I got some potting soil. Worst case scenario, they'll have something for nutrition once they've rooted. So the sand is so they can root without molding and all that kind of stuff. But they're sprouting, and they're looking like they alive still. So that's good. I'll check back with all of these in like 3 months, which from when I put this in here probably be about the beginning of June. So I got the Granny Smith apple, all my apples here that I got. Here's a Moorpark apricot. So if these root, I'll have more trees, which is great because trees cost anywhere from the cheapest whips and bare roots are anywhere from $10 to $20, and most trees in pots that are a year or 2 years old or more are $25 to $50 is the average price of a tree. So, if you just say the average price of a tree is about $25 to $40, and say $30 a piece, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's say there's a 10 here. If I get a 50% success rate, I got 5 trees. That's this little bundle right here. The worst case scenario would be 5 times 25, about 130, 120. This is about 120 to $150 worth of trees. That's if I have a 50% success rate. The more, if I get a higher success rate, then it's probably double that. Then if all of these make it, this little bundle in my hand where this little zip tie is, they're probably worth $200 worth of trees, which is great. So here's the apricot, an amazing fruit, and most trees and stuff got healing properties, but they got fruit too. So you didn't hear that. You answer a call. I'm not answering no calls. So let's move on. So here, as an example, if every bundle you see is probably, let's say $125 worth of trees, possibly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there you go. That's probably anywhere from, that bucket could be arranged from, the value could be ranged from $600 to maybe up to $1,000 worth of trees. That's amazing. That's great. That's just the value. That doesn't mean you're gonna get money. I'm just trying to give you a price tag on what it's worth to try to propagate your cuttings, because you got to prune your trees every winter if you don't want them to get out of control. You should prune them, especially the first few years. And if you propagate, which is one of the biggest benefits of a greenhouse, is you get to propagate in the winter. Second benefit is you get to start seeds in the winter and the spring. And I'm gonna talk about the price of plants because, you know, it's mind blowing. Here's a Gala apple I got, and these shoots on here isn't a guarantee that it's gonna root, but I put some rooting powder. I cut the bark, put some rooting powder. It got sand in there, and at the bottom I got soil, just in case if I go past the date and they just end up stuck in here, they'll have something to eat and still be a plant to be transplanted later. They won't die if I go past the 3-month period, which with my activities, it's possible that I could. Here's I got a Santa Rosa plum. So I'm trying to get these to root. Here's from my muscadine. These are all of the ones that I found in the ground. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 5 of them here. 4 of them are sprouting. So it gets warm in here when it's 50 degrees out. It's about 20 or 30 degrees warmer here than the ambient temperature outside. That's without the heat. I got a little heater that I got on a timer next to those buckets of water. And they come on at night to protect from, because it's being cold at night here. So I got the little heater on here. I have an idea, and I'm just rambling on. But in my rambling is some stuff. I got an idea for a greenhouse situation. I might come up with a permanent one. Well, not an idea, but something I've seen. No, it's not an original idea, but I think it's a good idea. Is making putting a masonry heater in the ground at one of the ends of the greenhouse, in a bed of probably like a 4-foot bed or 4-foot bed of sand in the middle, and masonry heater, heats up real hot and then expands to the brick around it. But set that in the bed of sand, and I think I can maintain and over winter. You would just on the cold nights, you would just start a fire once a day, and that'll be it. Set it and forget it. You could do it with you don't have to have electricity and you could keep your greenhouse heated, because it'll heat up the sand or heat up the rock. I think that might be a good idea. I might do that. That's a permanent kind of off grid. You'd have to be there to maintenance. You got to run the fire, but you don't have to be there to start a fire once a day. Only on the days the nights where it's gonna get below 30, probably be necessary. But let me keeping on. I got some turkey figs. So like again, this sprouting like this isn't a guarantee that it's taken. It's a guarantee that it's still alive. As you can see, this one hasn't sprouted, but it still got buds on it. It still might sprout. So sprouting isn't a guarantee that you got a viable plant, but it's still alive. So you got to give it 3 months to see if it develops roots, and then sometime in the summer you can repot it into its more permanent bed. So this setup is just to try to get it to root. So these are called cuttings, propagations. So I take the time when I got a prune. A lot of people propagate in the summer because it's warmer weather and it propagates. But the benefit of a greenhouse, one of the biggest benefits, is that you can take your cuttings, which you have to prune anyway, and usually get rid of them. You can take some of your cuttings and propagate them in the winter. Then in the summer, you can see what made it, you know. So this, again, is sand in here. I cut the bark off and put some rooting powder hormone in the bark, put them in there. And at the bottom of the sand, as a safety feature or precaution, I put a couple of inches of potting soil, just in case, you know, I neglect and get further in the season. They'll have a chance to have some nutrition, and they can make it, and I can still have viable plants if I go past June. So it's just something I did for me. Here's some what are these called? Mulberry cuttings. Got here. This just in the water. I'm wasting time here. Like, these are sprouting, but I don't think they're gonna. I just did this just because, see if it get the roots in the water, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Here I have some. These are trifoliate. These are the bitter lemon seeds from the bitter lemon tree. I don't think this poor guy's gonna make it here, but 5 out of 6 is pretty good. With that rate, I took another set here and put them here. This took probably a little bit longer than most other stuff, but it germinated. Here I have the apricot seeds that I germinated. I got 10 of them. I believe they're all alive. The better ones you can see here, right there. So that's these are apricot tree. These are store-bought apricots. I believe I just that one don't look too good, but I believe I just I don't remember what I did with it, but I took them out I took the shell off of them and I put them in here with this heat and moisture, and they sprouted. I had them up there and in little 6 plants like this, and they sprouted. So we'll see how they do. They got enough food for at least a month or two. I had them in a smaller pot. I repotted them into these, so they'll probably make it to June in these. I'll probably feed them. But these are apricot seedlings, which is great. That's 10 trees. We'll see if all of them make it. But that's, you know, for the price you're paying for trees, that's probably about $250 worth of trees. And up here I have cayenne peppers. Some of those are coming up. Hopefully make enough cayenne to make a dry them out and make a powder this season. I got a few plates of those. I got some different tomatoes and tomatillos, black currant, and I think I got the brandywine. Here's the tomatillos in the middle. So I got to repot these. These are just free planted. Once they get a couple of true leaves on them, I'll put them in that's what I'm thinking I'm gonna do, maybe today or tomorrow. I'm gonna repot these in the individual pots so they can make it out. They gotta make it about 30 more days in here before they can go outside, before we safe from frost. Over there I got some sage popping up. There's some sage, and then there's some I think that's thyme, but the thyme has not sprouted. But the sage on the right side of the screen, that has sprouted. And then over here, I got some echinacea plants. I got a whole package full of them. I've been trying to get echinacea from the roots that they sell in the store, but they never make it when I get the store-bought ones. I haven't had one make it yet, so hopefully I have better luck. You can see I got some sprouts. Look like I'm at 50% with these. Got a couple of these. Those are all echinaceas. The purple cone flower, which I took some echinacea a week ago because I caught a cold. Took some echinacea and vitamin C and zinc. Yeah, and it shut the cold down in a couple of days. So you got some echinaceas over there. I forget what this is. I gotta write it out. Is that lavender? Yeah, lavender. Yes. Let's see. Oh, there is nothing. Oh, there we go. That's my neighbor walking. And that's it inside the greenhouse. I got here. Oh, I seen this on the intranets. To do some fig. And these are at the couple figs, one of the turkey fig. This is a different method of trying to get them to root. So that's just sand, and they lay sideways, and you got it covered, and you keep them. I have my sprinkler come on in here at least once a day. Keep them moist, and you see that Cadota fig? That's got little leaves on it, and I'm trying to see if they'll get to getting some roots. If you get some roots, then you might have a tree. There we go. They just lay sideways in the sand and try to get them to root. If they can root into that sand, more turkey figs, you might have a tree. Like, once again, if you get having the leaf sprout on the stem is not a guarantee, but you know it's alive. So you got to wait 3 months to see if you get some roots. And that's what I'm doing in here. This has been quite a bit of work. It don't look like much, but that's quite a bit of work. Potting work is some serious work. The people who work at greenhouses do quite a bit of tedious work for you to get these plants. And you should participate. Here we go. That's it. That's what I got growing in the hoop house this spring. I got to find a place for these citrus trees. I learned about putting these trees in the ground that it's the first 2 to 3 years is crucial. You got to baby them. You got to give them enough water, and you got to make sure they either get the right amount of sun, and you got to feed them, and you got to water them. And you got to mulch them, and you got to put them in the ground right. So the first 2-3 years, you get it past to the third year, you might have something. Once they get past the third year, you might have a tree. That first 2 years, though, it could die like chickens. So you still got to baby them when you first put them in the ground. You can't just set it and forget it. That's broken. So we'll see about this strawberry tree. This is pretty interesting. I don't know if they taste like strawberries, but they call it strawberry tree because it's a tree that looks like strawberries on it. I heard they semi-sweet berries. But I've been interested in this tree for a while, and I could always remember what it's called. Now I know. It's called the strawberry tree. It's the tree that's on the Captain Crunch cereal box. They never told you what it was. That's it. That's all I got. I got a few figs back there amongst that tall grass. I got to find some places to put these guys. But this winter I put them in here because it got cold. And even figs can get burnt down if you get into the 20s. We got into the 20s this winter. Quite a few days. So I put all these in here just to be safe. And they've sprouted early because it's warm here, especially in the daytime. But that's what we got growing. They got to transplant some of these tomatoes in the next couple of days. Put them in some pots. If you know the price of plants, though, you know it's getting ridiculous. So a hoop house or greenhouse is, if you use it, can save you a lot of money with plants and getting stuff started by seed. Whether it's trees, like these apricots here, or it's seeds like these tomatoes, stuff that you have to buy when you're ready to plant. Because by the time it's time for you to plant, if you want to have a good season in most places, down here you could probably start it from seed, but up north, you'd have to do some kind of greenhouse function or do some on your windowsill. But this, with this humidity and all of this stuff that I put in here, normally if I try to do this inside the house with a heat mat, I don't have as much success as I've had in here, because this is warm. It gets warm in here and it's humid, and I keep it I water it once a day with just a sprinkler that sprinkles the whole place, just once a day. And that's pretty good success, especially with tomatoes. That's crazy. But this right here, the echinacea is and the cayenne, that's very exciting, because usually you pay good money for this. A 6-pack like this of plants will cost you, $7. Now they're pretty ridiculous. It'll be like $3.99 to like $5.99, depending on what you're getting. So this isn't the whole garden, but this is a good use of the space for what I got. This says place is about 10 by 20 is the size of this little hoop house. So that's the update of the hoop house. These seedlings, even though this is bitter fruit, I can use them to I can't remember all the words, to add another tree plant onto it. So you get a bitter root and you cut it and you put something sweet like this. You can add something like this right here, this Tangelo, whatever this thing is called, the Tangelo, and that bitter root will make it more cold hardy. So I can't think of what it's called when you splice a plant onto another one, but those apricots, I believe they grow true to seed. So they'll be the same plant that they were. That's it. But that's the update. And so far, so good. So it look like I might have maybe 5 to 1 on my ratio. If I may get 5 new trees for every tree I got in the ground this year. That's what it looks like. And that's a pretty good growth rate. So once you get a few trees established, if you can propagate them, if you want to increase, you don't have to keep buying trees. So that's it. That's all I got. That's my long video. Shalom, everybody. Time for me to finish my coffee and go do some work.